Well, hello and welcome back to my graphic novel of comic strips titled Found Earth. This has been a very busy and interesting week to the point to where I'm finishing this video on Sunday morning. Or at least I'm doing voiceover on Sunday morning. I at least had the forethought to put the video itself together last week, the week before last, at some point. I've been busy being sick. Apparently some sinus thing knocked me over the head and decided to take me out for 24 hours, 36 hours, and then make it unable to speak for more than 30 seconds without hacking a lung for the rest of the week. Also, it was in the cards for me to teach a couple of lessons for our church's VBS, Vacation Bible School. We just do it once a year, and it's a cool way to reach a lot of little kids. And our story leader is transitioning out of the position. He's held it for a while, and he's looking at finding a successor. And I think that is a very interesting part of life, trying to find somebody, or trying to find the best you can to replace yourself in your position. And it's a very mature way of looking at your mortality. Some people think they'll live forever, and so they never look for another successor, or they just don't care about what happens after they're gone, or they don't even think about it, all of which is probably a sign of immaturity, lack of planning, and it's a poor model to follow. Favorite part of this page, by the way, is the snake wrapping around the tree. I love that part. It took a lot of planning, and it takes a lot of patience to do that sort of thing, at least for me. So slowly over the last couple of years, he's given me more and more of the responsibilities for telling the story at VBS every year, and some of that requires, being there half the day setting up on the days that I teach, so that I can have it all prepared and ready to go, and so I can spend a couple of hours memorizing it, because I'm still working 40 hours that week, and I was sick before that, and a little bit during probably, so there was a little bit of pressure there, and so I ended up spending half the day at the VBS for 2 days, and I have an expanded appreciation for teachers, even though I went to school for education for a while, and I'm also kind of glad that I don't do it for a living, because I don't think I can live like that all the time. Maybe, I suppose, if it was my job, then I could be a little more focused on that during the time that I would be at work or something. I don't know. But I don't think that I would have near the relationship with my family that I do now if I had to do that all the time for 20, 30, 40 years. Just all the time focused on the next lesson. So, I don't know, maybe I dodged a bullet there. Part of me regrets not doing it, but part of me knows that I would have thrown myself into it all the way, and probably at the disadvantage of everything else. Because that seems to be what I do. I throw myself into it all the way. I've had to force myself to just do the comic book on Saturday mornings. wake up bright and early and I go until I finish a page, and then the rest of the week is spent not really doing much with it outside of contemplating the thumbnails for the next week's page. So that's it, penciled. So I guess you have to at least acknowledge what you put your energy into, or acknowledge how you are and try to adapt the rest of your life to it, I guess. So I spend the rest of the, so I'm throwing this together at the last minute. I didn't really have anything to talk about, but I guess I kind of found something. So I'm feeling a little better. I still have a slight cough, and I'm chugging along. I managed to crank out another page this week, and everything else is on schedule except for the fact that I'm putting this together at 6 in the morning and on the day it's due, and I'm not entirely sure how long it will take to download, or if I'm going to be able to get back down here in time to upload it to all the various things that I need to do, because there's a conversion process to do with this, and then I have to put it in the computer and all that other stuff, and there now you know what I have to do to get these videos out. And I'm not complaining, because I enjoy making the art, and making the videos is not horrible. It's just the waiting game for the computer to make all the files work with all the programs. That's all. It's until they develop a faster way to do that. I guess I just have to live with it, and we'll go from there. But the page looks great without having that logo across the middle, and I have all of you to thank for that. So anyway, finding your successor is probably one of the hardest things to do, and probably the second most important thing of your legacy, if you want to leave one. Or, I don't think you get a choice. I think you leave one whether you want to or not. But finding a successor is probably the second most important thing that you do during your tenure as whatever it is that you do. A lot of us try to do it with our sons or grandkids, or some predisposition, some preordained thing that you've come up with that you're going to do come heck or high water. And you have to leave yourself open to what life, the world, God brings you with regards to what you're going to pass on and who you're going to pass it on to. It's not always what you think it's going to be or who you think it's going to be. Sometimes it's somebody you haven't even met yet, probably won't until just the right time. Being adaptable, keeping an open mind, that's probably the solution to that. So we're nearing the end of our 10 minutes here, and so I would like to thank Scott Snyder and Joe Lambton for contributing to the Patreon, and for everybody else who's watching this. If you'd like to contribute, go to www.patreon.com/Alan Dunlap and throw in some pocket change. It's just as little as $1, whatever. It funds the artwork. It keeps the artwork going. Pays for programs. Pays for copyrights and things like that. And I guess we'll see you next week. Have fun.